My name is Frank Holloway. I'm 67 years old. One evening, my son sat across from me. He didn't speak right away. He just looked at me. Not like a child looks at his father, but like a man trying to understand another man. After a moment, he said quietly, "Dad, I know the hardest day you ever lived in the Army was the day you lost your hand." I smiled. Not a real smile. The kind of smile you use when you don't want to correct someone. I stayed silent. And in that silence, I understood something important. He only understood what he could see. A missing hand, a scar, a body that looks damaged. He believed the worst pain was the kind that leaves visible marks. I didn't cry. Not out loud, not in front of him. But something tightened in my chest. A familiar pressure. The kind that comes when a memory you've avoided for years finally finds a way in. I turned my head for a moment. I breathed slowly, the same way I was trained to breathe under fire. Then I said, "That's not the day you think it is." I sat back down, and for the first time, I decided to talk about the real day. The hardest day of my military career had nothing to do with losing my hand. That day, I was conscious, prepared, surrounded by people who helped me survive. The real day was the day I realized I would never be the same again. That day, we were on patrol, a routine patrol, the kind of mission no one really fears. Serious enough to stay alert, not serious enough to expect disaster. The area was familiar. We had moved through it before. Damaged buildings, narrow streets, blind corners everywhere. Daniel was walking to my right, my best friend. We had served together for years. We didn't need to talk much. When I slowed down, he slowed down. When he stopped, I stopped. That day, he wasn't nervous. Neither was I. But there was silence. Too clean, too perfect. In the military, silence is never neutral. It usually means something bad is coming. The first shots came without warning. Not a single round, not a mistake. Sustained fire, controlled, coordinated. Within seconds, we understood. This wasn't an unexpected encounter. It was an ambush. They were more numerous than our intelligence suggested, positioned higher, on the sides. They had the advantage. The radio exploded with noise. Orders overlapped. Everyone was trying to understand where to move, where to take cover. Daniel moved forward, not out of heroism, out of instinct. Cover the unit. Create space. Buy a few seconds. That's when the shot came from the side. Not from the front. Not from above. I saw him fall. Not violently. Not dramatically. He fell the way someone sits down too fast and doesn't get back up. I rushed to him. I already knew. When I knelt beside him, I didn't try to speak. I didn't shout. I knew. In the military, you learn to recognize death. No one officially teaches you, but you learn. Around us, the situation was getting worse. They were moving closer, shifting positions. We were losing control. I called on the radio, asked for support, gave our coordinates. The order came shortly after, immediate withdrawal. And this is the point. Behind. Not because we didn't care, not because he didn't matter, because staying meant dying, all of us. It's a decision you don't debate, but it's one you pay for the rest of your life. We made it out, with wounded, with shock, with a silence no one dared to break. After that, everything became cold. Administrative, reports, debriefs, reconstruction of events. They ask how many there were, where the shots came from, whether procedures were followed. No one asks what it feels like to leave your best friend on the ground. Later, they told me I had to notify his mother. Because I was closest to him. Because I knew him best. Because it made sense. The drive to her house felt endless. Not because of distance, because of what I knew I had to say. When she opened the door, she smiled. Then she saw my uniform, and she understood. She didn't scream. She didn't cry right away. She just asked, "Is it Daniel?" I nodded. She stepped aside, sat down slowly, as if her body already knew. I explained the ambush, told her they were more numerous, told her he protected the others. She asked one question, just one. Was he afraid? I answered honestly. She closed her eyes, and for a long time she said nothing. That silence, I still hear it. When I left her house, I didn't cry, but something inside me cracked permanently. After that day, I started to drift. I showed up, but I wasn't really there. I missed things. I stared at people without hearing them. At night, I replayed the same moment. Not the gunfire. The moment I turned away from him. I stood upright. But I wasn't whole anymore. It wasn't my hand that ended my career. It was that day. I looked at my son and said calmly, "The deepest wounds aren't always visible." He didn't say anything. He understood. That's why I speak now, because some missions never truly end. This is my testimony. This is a soldier's account.